then every moment changes. Because whether we know it or not, every word we say,
yes,
every interaction we have has the ability to change our attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we start to focus on learning how to do that, then our lives change.
Come on, y'all, keep clap. I'm not even gonna tell y'all no more. Y'all know what y'all supposed to do. Here's the thing that makes this so great. This is how the universe is working. We have this game plan, and we've got this fun thing that we're gonna do. We're gonna kick this off in just a minute, and it fits so perfectly with what you're talking about, where the dissemination of information, we see a little bit, and maybe we understand something, maybe we don't, maybe we need to get a little bit more information to fully understand it. We have a game that literally is going to showcase that right now. So I'm gonna ask the tech guys if they can kick up our game for us. Now, we've got this image here. This is a scene from some of your work. Now, could you guess what this is off the top of your head right now, based on what you're seeing here? Do you know what this is?
Wow.
Does anyone know what this is? I mean, I feel your energy. I feel your energy.
Bug it out. Do the right thing.
Maybe. Let's get a little bit more information. Let's try one more slide. Let's try one more slide.
Oh, baby. Far Cry 6, baby.
That's what I'm talking
Got
about.
it, baby.
Let's go ahead and go to the clearest image possible. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
My man. Who was that?
Locked in right there.
My man, you got it, baby.
Absolutely. You know what? I think we've got a t-shirt that we're going to give you. So, yeah, you won this one. You got a t-shirt coming. So you just hang tight. Don't worry. When we tell you, you're going to come up, you can get a t-shirt for that one. Good job. Let's go to the next one. Limited information. Can you see who it is? Whoa, wait, I heard it back there. Good, I need you to stand up. Let's get some more imagery here.
Come on, bring it.
Come on, let's see it.
I love it. Change the slide.
I know, change the slide. Where we at?
Little more.
We got a little
Bring it.
bit more. Yeah, come. I mean, listen, that's not far. But that right there is Mr. Stan Edgar.
Stan Edgar,
Come on.
baby.
Make some noise, y'all.
That's right.
Look at that face. He's telling somebody a truth that they weren't ready for. Let's do one more. Whoa! I heard it on this side. Who said it on this side? Is it? You really did. There was somebody like I heard very clear. Is it that one right there? That's standing up. That said it. Y'all, okay, listen, I'm gonna give it to you right there. If you stand up, I feel you.
Baby,
I feel
you got it.
So let's keep going. Again, this beautiful idea that you can have limited information, but then there's something that you can understand, you can know, you can pull. And the more information you get, the more you understand what you're seeing. You, sir, I don't know how you just pulled out. Yes, I do. You're genius. That's what it is. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were saying. I think one of the things that is super important for everyone to get out of this conversation is a little bit more of the how. Every day you wake up and you make a decision. How do you come to that decision about the greatness that you have the potential to bring into the world? Is it something that you aim for the greatness, or do you center yourself and recognize, just in this moment, I'm gonna do my best, and hopefully that is great?
Yeah, you can't wait to be great. Don't wait to be great, because what are you waiting for?
Come on now.
Another course, another great meditation, the right prayer. Don't wait to be great. You know, I get up and I do my mindful practice, and then I try to get out of the way. You know, sometimes what we have forgotten to do, because we have busy lives and we get up and we're rolling right away, is to check in. I call it, you know, taking someone's temperature, taking your own temperature.
Yes.
How do I feel physically? Okay, am I in my body right now? Okay, am I in my right mind? Am I breathing? Am I nervous? Am I anxious? I start to, you know, identify how I'm feeling in any given moment throughout the day, but mostly first thing in the day. And then I look at, okay, I have obligations and schedule and all that, but I take my temperature first. And then I decide that I'm gonna get out of the way and do my duties as allowed by my soulful energy.
Come on now.
As opposed to by my ego energy. So I can get up and move through the world and say, it's all about me. Or I can get up and move through the world and say, it's all about we, it's all about us. And what am I here to do today? So sometimes my simple prayer is, guide me. Which way? Tell me which way to go. Tell me the words to say, and that it's that simple.
Yes.
And I feel as if whenever I get out of myself, I pull myself back.
Right.
And go, guide my path, guide my words. Oh, universe. Oh, energy of the universe. What should I be doing right now? Even when people are bowing down to me and my ego wants to explode because I'm the baddest man in the world.
You are.
You are so cool. You're so this. You're so that. I have to still remember that I'm me. Right?
Right.
So that I'm able to ground myself and have this energy that I have so I can share it with all of you.
Thank you for that. Come on. Guys, I want to flip things over to you and give you the opportunity to ask a couple of questions. We've got the microphones here. We're going to bounce back and forth. And we'll start on this side and work our way back over. Hello, friend. Tell us your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Nate. Victor, you've been crushing it all weekend, buddy.
Thank you.
Great
Appreciate
job.
you.
And
Appreciate
the signing team, the unsung
Absolutely.
heroes.
Make some noise for the
Guys are
ASL
crushing
team,
it.
for sure.
Excellent work.
Yeah.
For sure.
Top notch.
Absolutely.
And of course, Giancarlo, thank you for being here on Thanksgiving weekend. You didn't have to do that, but you chose to. So thank you for being here for all of us.
My pleasure.
I'm curious. Your legacy is vast. Your catalog's deep. You are a master of your craft. How do you keep developing new ways to sharpen and hone your skill set, even though you already have intellectual tools, physical tools, and you can use dialogue and or do nothing to be horrifying, inspiring, and more importantly, feel like a lived-in character? How do you keep developing those skills?
Giancarlo Remastered.
Come on. Let's go.
I mean, it's a constant remastering of my attention span. You know, every script that I get, I don't go back to a character I played to figure out how to create this character. I allow, you have to allow space in your life for inspiration, which means you have to ask the question and wait for the answer. And I'm impatient, so I don't want to wait for the answer. I want it yesterday. But when I'm playing a role, I've got to allow the words of what the writer has written to speak to me and feel, do I have any ideas surrounding it? So, you know, for me, I'm still excited about every character I play, and I look for new traits that I haven't portrayed before. And how can I start to investigate that? And so I think that's what's allowed me to stay in it and to be completely committed. You know, what you do today determines your tomorrow.
Well,
and if I have a script in front of me, then that's determining what I'm going to do in a week, in a month, when I get in front of the camera and this role starts. I don't start the week before, 3 days before, and I start silently. And I try to allow it to speak to me, as opposed to me speaking to it. So in that way, I'm really a child, unjaded, and that's how I continue to look at my work. There's something it's going to teach me.
Right.
Yes, I have experience, but the experience is in the building blocks of creating the character, and with each character, those building blocks shift around, so that I'm always in a vulnerable state to allow it to speak to me, and then I start to figure out what that voice is saying and how to do it.
Thank you so much.
You welcome.
Amazing. Thank you. Hello. What's your name?
Name's Ken.
Hey.
Good morning, Mr. Esposito.
Hey, Ken.
Now, from your work, going back to school days, all the way up to
Now.
Star Wars, there you go. I've enjoyed your work, and I look forward to seeing you in Captain America: Brave New World.
That's right. That's right.
Now, I don't like horror movies, but I went out to a theater earlier this year, and I saw Abigail.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
And I got exactly what I came for. It was a horror movie, but it had comedy. And I love seeing your role in that. I want to know, what did you see in that movie that said, I think I want to be in that?
You know, so as an actor, you want to explore different genres. And I had never explored that particular genre. And when I got the script, I thought it was interesting. The young girl who plays Abigail is exceptional. And when the role came in and I read the script, I thought, oh, there was a big misdirect behind my character. So it was exciting to me. People would think, and I would even think when I read it, that I was here to control all the chaos and do a certain thing. And then the twist comes in,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, this is exciting for me. So again, you know, to do the same thing all the time is not what I'm in for. And I went out on a limb, and we always go out on a limb to do something different. If you always done what you always did, you always get what you always got.
Come on now.
Right?
Come on.
So to be uncomfortable in an awkward situation is actually kind of great, because you're exploring some feelings that you haven't explored before, and it allows you to be more vulnerable, more open. So I saw an opportunity here to have a transference of energy from beginning to end that I thought was very exciting.
It worked.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely. Hello.
Hi. So obviously you've played in a lot of really iconic universes, from Once Upon a Time as the Magic Mirror to Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul to Star Wars and now Marvel. Is there any like major universe, whether it's already been put to screen or not, that you one day dream of being part of?
You know, lately I got my eye on Freeze.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, I don't know.
Come on.
Like, you know,
James, you listening?
this has come up in social media before, but you know, my optometrist, I was making some glasses for a character I'm about to return to in The Gentleman in April. And so I start early, and I figure, what's he gonna look like? And I'm trying to figure it out. And so then, you know, of course, optometrist, Freeze with the goggles, he sends me a picture. And I went, yeah, I've seen that rendering before. And all of a sudden I went, oh, and I like diving. He had that big armor on.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I've always been fascinated by that kind of diving when you're in that old school armor. Freeze kind of looks like that. So I started to look up a little bit about Freeze, and I started to think, oh, that's coming for me. You see, that's the invitation. That's how Marvel happened.
Yeah.
Thank all of you fans who wanted me to, I mean, thank all of you
Yes.
fans.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
the fans wanted me to play Professor X.
Well,
And that blew up on social media, and that led to me having a conversation with Marvel, and that led to something else, which I'm very happy about. And this Captain America 4 is gonna blow you away. You are gonna love it because you're gonna see me as you've never seen me before.
Love it.
But yes, I have my eye on Freeze. I'd love to play Pushkin, a Russian poet, philosopher, musician. There are many things I'd like to do, and I'm cultivating them one by one, knocking them off my bucket list.
thank you for that. I'm not saying I love Mr. Freeze, but his name Victor sounds good. I just want to throw that out there. Hello, Fred. How you doing?
Hi, how are you doing? I'm a big fan. I wanted to personally thank you for playing Gus, Moff G, and Stan Edgar. And my personal favorite actually was Faraday from Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Yeah,
Come
baby.
on, come on.
Love that. I have a question. Why did you get into acting? And was there like an influence, like some guy you looked at when you were growing up, like, I want to be like that?
My mother influenced me a great deal. She was an opera singer and had a beautiful voice and never really came into her own and really made it. She made it in Europe and did a few tours of Porgy and Bess and sang opera, where she met my father in San Carlo Opera in Naples. So I grew up in a household with an Italian father and a black mother, where there was always creativity and music and arias playing and going on. And cut forward to their divorce and me watching a television show with my brother and seeing a commercial where we saw the first African-American kid on a commercial ever. And we were struggling financially. And I looked at this and I went, I could do that. Wait, I could do that? And so it was really a way of me getting out of, like, we look for families to join when our own family is falling apart, right? If you have the guts to get out and say, I can't be here anymore, you find another family to become a part of. And in this case, the family I found was on the Broadway stage, the family of performers, the family of actors, who created a world for all of you that looks to be real, but is a fantasy world. I wanted a better life. And that's what led me to acting, and the rest is history. I found that family in 13 Broadway musicals, and then I found that I wanted to go further. So nothing comes without work. Nothing comes without dedication. And so because of my love, I wanted to know more. right? When are you in a situation where you're in a gig and you want to know more? How often are you in a job interview where you're interviewed and they ask you 1,000 questions, they say, thank you, we'll be in touch. Wait. Well, tell me about your company. What can you offer me? Is there room for advancement? If I have ideas, are you open for me to share them with you? Right? Your value means something.
Come on now.
Well, when you start to
tell
get
them,
with
tell
your
them.
value
Come on.
whatever level it is, to say, I want to contribute, and you voice that,
Yes.
and you say that, are you open for a contribution? Then you're really understanding what your value is, not only in the workplace, but also in your community and also in the world. We need you to understand that you are powerful, that there's something that each and every one of you has that we need.
Yes.
So share it.
Come on.
And share it today.
Thank you so much.
I want to throw my shoes. I want to take them off and throw them across the room. I'm being professional now. Okay. Hello, friend. How we doing?
Hi, Giancarlo. Thank you just so much for your work in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Like shows like that,
Yes.
really just like made me go like down the rabbit hole to like crime dramas in that kind of style. And my question, it's on the topic of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Kind of a what if. It's if Hector did not suffer his stroke, what do you think his dynamic could have been with Gus, or what could his possible storyline could have been with Gus?
Well, interesting question. I think, I first of all, I should say that I miss Mark Margolis terribly. A dear friend who I've known for 40 years. Hypothetically, there would have been an incredible ongoing standoff between Gustavo and Hector Salamanca. It would have been that of Braun from the Salamancas and that of Brain from Gus. And I think it could have extended further, without a doubt. And Gus would have been threatened miserably so until he figured out how to do away with Hector. But there's something about the juxtaposition. We have an animal nature. So when I think about controlling my animal nature, my base layer, right? I think about, we've become a society that's more refined, but still we're animals. And so the animal instinct is in us. And so it would have been a real juxtaposition between the animal nature of the Salamancas, whose instinct is to just take you out and kill you right away, and a more refined nature of Gustavo Fring, whose instinct is to build something. Whether it be, from a nefarious background or not, he's trying to build something. So that's my answer.
Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for your time.
You're welcome.
I want to warn the room, we've got about like 10 minutes left. We'll try to get through as many folks as we can, but we got some special prizes that we're going to give away to those that are still in line. Hello.
Hello, I want to thank you for all your acting and giving us your time to give us fans to answer your questions and our questions. My question is, if you played your character Faraday on Cyberpunk, I really love that character. If you could give us any backstory, any made-up backstory on how he got to become a fixer, just any background and lore on this character, what would it be?
Well, I really love Pulp Fiction. I love the idea because I have a hero complex and I'm also a people person. And I also I have 4 daughters, so I want to fix everything. And so the fixer, to me, is an important human being in our society. I've learned that no one's going to fix me. So if anybody out there could help me, fix me, please. I'd love a fixer. So Faraday came to me because it was a Japanese animation, and when they showed it to me, they asked me to do it. They didn't have an American version at all. So I'm watching the whole thing in Japanese. So here's a great example of having to use your powers of discernment and your ear. So I watched the whole thing in Japanese to figure out what's really happening. What is this story? And then I get in the studio and they ask me to fit the English over the Japanese to make it work. And I'm there on the mic in the moment, spontaneously figuring out how to squeeze it all in and have it work, and to have the right attitude, and to play in the frame with other actors who I can't yet hear. because they're doing the other characters. But you have to figure out, I figured out how to get it. And when I got it, I felt it. And so that's kind of my story. This was a quick couple of weeks where I had a couple of sessions, and I had to figure out, am I hitting it? Is it right? Does it feel good? And I certainly found a rhythm, and it felt good to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Hello. Hi. My question is, while preparing for the role of successful franchise owner of Los Pollos Hermanos, did you draw inspiration from real-life fast food chains like KFC or El Pollo Loco?
KFC is my enemy. I don't cook their chicken is frozen. It's true. My chicken is only chilled. No, I have to be honest with you, no. I drew inspiration from my, almost my childhood when I was in a military school at Mount St. Joseph Military Academy in Newburgh, New York. And it kind of started with the clip-on tie. And I felt at home. When I had a clip-on tie, because that's what I wore in military school, right? Because now I tie my own tie and I'm good at it. So that was one thing. I worked in restaurants. So in a way, the answer is yes, because I've worked in many different restaurants as a busboy and then a waiter, bartender, but my forte was being a waiter. And so I drew on my experience as a waiter to figure out how to make people happy and ask them if their meal was good and they were happy and is everything to your satisfaction? Would you like a refill? And so that is what I drew on to bring that character to life.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. My question is, what's the best meal you've ever had in your life? Like, what did you eat? Who were you with? What was the setting? What did you talk about?
Wow, foodie. We have a
That's
foodie.
right. That's right.
Immediately what comes to my mind is 40 years ago, I had a piece of swordfish at the Caesars Hotel in Las Vegas the night I met Jerry Lewis.
Wow.
And it was swordfish with some capers and olives, and it was grilled with a little bit of oil on it, and I've never, ever forgotten it.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Good question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
What's your name?
Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. What's your question?
So I'm a huge Far Cry fan, but I also love your work in Breaking Bad. Is there a different mindset you have to get into versus when you're doing something like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul when it's a live action versus when you have to do a voiceover for a video game?
Well, so it may have looked like a voiceover, it was not. That was me acting out every moment with a green suit on. My knuckles, my knees, my ankles, everything was articulated with sensors. It was in a room much like this, where if you look at the ceiling, all these lights would be cameras. That room is called a volume, and we acted out every scene. I had a football helmet on with a rail in front, with very much like what I'm looking at now. These two very bright lights. One light was here on the rail, one light was here, my eyes were showing. And there was a camera in the middle that recorded every facial movement I made. So I wanted to do Far Cry because I had never been in the world of gaming.
Right.
And that world had, and I also had a belt on my waist with all the equipment on it. Now I look like a ballerina, because I'm in the tightest suit you could imagine. Every ripple of fat is showing. And I had to forget all that and then sit here with Victor and act.
Boom.
Both
of us in this outfit.
Every scene was acted out. The couch was like was a box. The boat was a piece of wood, and they filmed everything. They took all of that film, and then they sent it over to all the folks who were going to animate it. So I did speak, they did record it, I did go back in later and fix the recording, whatever it was, and the animators took over 1.5 years to create me from what they saw. And that's how a game like Far Cry gets made.
Incredible.
They don't just create you and put you up there. So for me, the excitement was to do something I'd never done before, remember? Right? It's a new adventure.
That's right.
and to be able to have that new adventure and to make good on the promise to myself that I learned something new.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Time-wise, we only have time for one more question. So I'm gonna get a t-shirt. We've got some t-shirts that we're gonna give away. If we don't have enough here right now, you're gonna follow me after this panel. We're gonna take y'all to get a t-shirt. The 3 people that answer the questions, y'all gonna come up. Y'all gonna get a t-shirt given to you by the man himself, Mr. Giancarlo Esposito. Last question, my friend. What you got for us?
Hello, Mr. Esposito. It's very nice to see you up here. My name's Tristan, and growing up, I know that music was a big part of your life since your mother was an opera singer and everything. I was wondering on what maybe some of your favorite albums were to kind of give us more insight onto how you grew up or what you grew up around.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Let's go. Let's go.
Sketches of Spain. Miles Davis.
Yes.
You know, music is a big part of my life, and we all know what time we're from when we speak about albums and music that we like, because that's ingrained in us, and that means something to us because it's become part of our journey. To me, in my work, I realize that our lives are movement. Our lives are musical within that movement. And so to have that musical sense and feeling in your soul is important, especially for what I do, because I have to move my body and I have to speak words and have those words sound like music. I love classical music. I love Mozart. I love Franz Liszt. I love Beethoven. All of these things affect me in the work that I do, because with each character I play and with the films I direct, I create a music soundtrack. And I put it together and listen to it because it allows me to think about, visually conjure up the movement and the music of the film. Everything is timing, everything is rhythm in our lives, whether we know it or not. And so I love your question in that way. I grew up hearing music in my family, and I continue to hear music in my head as I create the characters I do, and as I develop the different projects that I'm developing now, and as I move forward as a director, music becomes the saying really is true. You know, music does soothe the savage beast.
Yes. Love that. Love that. Oh. Fan Expo San Francisco, y'all have heard the word. Y'all have gotten all this joy, all this wonderful insight. I want to thank y'all so very much for joining us this morning, but we got to make some noise for Mr. Giancarlo Esposito.
Thank you, San Francisco!
The guys that have won things, I need y'all to come up here. You guys come on up here. Let's start giving out
We
some of
love
these.
you, we love you, we love you.